Back at the shop, and we are finally putting the head on this 180SX, which is something I've been waiting to do for like a month now, but life hit. But we are back, thankfully, and we have a fresh head. All of my hardware is put into it. They put conversion guides in the exhaust side and put 6mm exhaust valves in it, so it is actually a square setup for more exhaust flow. He had to cut a good amount off of it to clean it up. That means it's gonna be pretty high compression, which is cool because those Tomei 2.2s back in the day, they were like either 8.3 or 8.5 to 1. So cutting a bunch off the head is good for us right now, and running a 1.2mm Apexi MLS head gasket. I already went ahead and knocked the freeze plug out of the bottom of the head and put in our coolant port so we can clean up the bottom of it, hang it from our engine hoist, and put it in the motor. Remember, kids, if there's a will, there's a way, because my back hurts and there's no way I'm lowering this down by myself into the engine bay and getting through those chains. We can go ahead and put Toyota Bond on the motor, spray the gasket, and assemble everything. And then a nice layer of the Toyota sealant on the top of your gasket as well. Let's go ahead and drop this head on. Just got it over both of its guides here, and we're working it down in the back trying to clear this hose. And after a little finesse, look at that, sat right on. Which means we can go ahead and install our MOSWorks head studs. These are the torque specs, and that is the torque sequence. I'm not gonna show you guys, let's just knock this out, it's really fast. All right, guys. I went ahead and blasted in the mount for the intake temp sensor. And then we have a tube now for this idle air control valve. It'll come out right here with the expansion from Radium. And we are good to go. Okay, cams are in, torque down, lash checks out, the tensioner is in, chains tight, everything is good here. All we need to do now is install the CAS and torque that bolt. My problem is though that I have a modified cooling neck right here and I can't get the CAS in, so I had to take the bolts out, unfortunately. That Toyota Bond is so incredibly stuck on. You think, there it goes. Got us at top dead center for this, and I have the markings on the CAS. You can see there's 2 dots here, and so we have the right one lined up with that lower casing mark, which means we are ready to slide this in, and when it locks into place, it will turn the gear and that left dot will line up. We're gonna keep this nice and level, kind of lining up the bolt holes the whole time here. That looks right about there. I have my gear aligned in the correct place, which means when I slip this in, okay, bolt holes are aligned. And then if we look in here, that second pin hole is aligned with the casing mark. Look at that. That actually looks pretty great. Runs down under the manifold and over to my hookup right here for it. And this one comes up and around. We got both of our plugs plugged in and it actually fit. Look at that. I mean, barely. Got these NGKs out to 0.026. These are the BKR7Es. Then got a set of Z1 Hot Fire, whatever the cool fire name, coil packs. Gone ahead and hooked up the battery and everything seems good in here. Gauges are working. Boom, boom. Oh yeah, cool. All right. Chase Bay sent me a catch can today along with a couple other items like a grounding kit, a Nabori, some stickers, the good stuff, and then a bunch of heat wrap. So let's go ahead and start with that catch can because I have a good location for it. Of course, this is temporary. We will weld a new one onto this so that this fits. Put a hose clamp right here, but that is permanently mounted right there in such a great location. Keeps everything tucked away down here, out of harm's way. Easy to reach and drain. And then I have some heat sleeve, of course, for any areas I think are going to get hot after testing, maybe right here. But man, this looks fantastic. Moving on, getting rid of that nasty line, let's throw in a nice Chase Bays grounding kit. We have ourselves these two, which we can replicate this current negative terminal, and then we can go from the block to the chassis with these, and possibly transmission to chassis as well. Not only does that look nice, but that just helps so much with the new age ECU scopes. And then we have one directly to the transmission. And the very last thing we need to do is remove the old fan and replace it with a nice GK Tech unit. We have a new fan shroud to go with it. We just have to remove the radiator hose and the intake tubes to drop this in. Then we will mount that intake tube again and the rad tube and top it off, and we're ready. All right, I've gone ahead and turned off ignition mode up there, so we shouldn't have any spark, which means we can go ahead and build a little oil pressure. Oh man, I'm not getting enough crank there. All right, jumper box. Let's see if we can build just a little oil pressure. That starter. Come on, starter. We could go ahead and remove this one. Man, I really took my anger out on this thing. And I went ahead and threw in this new rebuilt one, and we got the car on the ground and we're ready to try. But I'm gonna call us done for this episode. We have a fully assembled engine bay and interior. Everything underneath the car is done. It is just time to do the ECU and then we can start it. That being said, next episode, we're gonna show you the whole fuel system on this car, and then solid lifter assemblies, and then a gas tank clean, and then we will do the first start video. I really appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you for the next one.